Welcome to Seeing This. Today, I'm excited to talk to the director of Irkalla, Gilgamesh's Dream, Mohamed Al-Daradji. Let's pronounce his name correctly.
You doing good.
Okay, thank you,
Yes.
thank you.
Some difficult name, but the beautiful Al-Daradji.
Al-Daradji.
Yes.
Love it. I really had a great time watching your film, and it's not a great time kind of movie. It is devastatingly beautiful. It's how I'm kind of encapsulated the feeling of watching a film. And I think that's because you have such a poetic style of writing, not just in your scripts, that also, in articles I've read from interviews you've done. Where does that inspiration come from? Where did you learn to kind of have this style of writing?
Um, to be honest with you, when I was a child, I used to be a good writer
Mm,
for school. Every Thursday, we need to make something to talk about how great Saddam Hussein
sure.
and how great the country and all of that. And I used في درس الإنشاء um, to write a story about Saddam, how great and how beautiful, good and look like my father. And every Thursday we have the flag is out, and I was very little. They give me the mic, and I was reading the story about Saddam in front of thousands
Oh, wow.
of students in the primary school. And from there, I'm writing very good because of my father. Because we used to have a guest house
Yeah.
where people would come to my father in the evening, having parties and sit. And this is the entertainment. We don't have a TV or anything to entertain. Only basically coffee, and people turn birds. In the usually have 20, 30 man sitting in this room. Basically, you have one guy tell the story. For example, story of the past. Story about the English and they occupied Iraq in 1920. The story about the monarchy. The story. So they have one subject, and the people basically talk about this subject. They don't confuse you. Today they talk about occupation. The whole night become about occupation.
Mm.
And you have the main story, and you have the little story, and then you have a supporting story. So from there, I understand how you tell the story, and what you should focus in it, and what's the heart of the story.
Yeah.
Okay, and that built up. And then I went for a study in Iraq, and then a study in Holland, and then I finished my master's in the UK, and and I used the power of the Quran. I listen to Quran every morning. It inspired me to understand who I am. And in the Quran, 50% of the Quran is about storytelling. The storytelling of Joseph, what happened with Jesus, what happened with Mary, what happened with Muhammad, what happened with Noah, what happened with all the prophet and all the creation. And the story is very good, like storytelling. Not one, two, three, like
Keeps you engaged.
keep you engaged. It's not like a telling you to do that. No, it's just storytelling of what happened with Joseph, how his journey from with his father and then with his brothers, and how he's been thrown in the wheel and then he's taken to Egypt and then he became the minister of Egypt, he's grown up and put in the prison, it's very simple. So to listen to this issue also focus on one subject to tell the story, I think that's what I use in my technique to tell the story.
And with this story, you talked about, there's one story and then you double click into something else and it gets more intimate, more specific. And with this story, Irkalla, I feel like you purposefully are focusing on the homeless children community. What drew you to that community specific? Why did you want to zero in on that for this story?
Basically, for me, I say if the nation is great, if you want to have a great nation, you need to look after children, you know? And if you look after children, like today in Canada, or in Europe, or in any place, looking after child is very protected. You don't see a homeless child on the street. Uh, uh, You see homeless people on the street, but you don't see homeless shop on the street
By themselves.
by themselves. No,
Yeah.
no. The government is look after it because there is a law to protect them. And if a child has a problem with his parents, they took it out of his parents. You know, all this
Correct.
creation law from the society to look after children. Unfortunately, the country like that, where the laws are damaging. If the country came like 40 years with dictatorship, when the country comes self occupation, when the country comes when uh, terrorists and dancers, all the law that you have to and you see a lot of children begging and stuff. So I say to myself always to have a good nation, you have a good country, you need to have a you need to go after something because they are the future later. They are the future of the country. If I give you a chance to have a good education, good health, a good environment, you become good civilians and you become part of development. Because each one of us builds your society. You build the society, I build the society. You have to make an interview. I'm answering you. Each one of us will do work. The bus driver, the guy cleaning the street, doctor, the
Also
engineer,
consider.
all of
Yeah.
us contribute to this circle that this society that by the end of the day, country called charity, so a country called life. And that's why I felt like, okay, I need to focus on the subject. The homeless children, the homeless children, they need to have these educated. Because if I have a homeless child, I give him a chance to be educated, he is not anymore homeless. He's somehow protected by himself. And we have that.
Yeah.
And the reality, uh, the when Churchill lived,
Right.
he's the office by himself. He lived in the open space where it's run by our friend shop then. Where I made like it's called in my arm. It was sold in different house with that and about those homeless children that in one bedroom house in Baghdad in the middle of this place. So this Misham he gave a chance to children to have a good environment as in fun. Education. And they have very succeed. One of those children, he become now a cameraman. One of the children, he's become a doctor. The another one, he's become Olympic guy in Iran, in the Brazilian, in the Olympics. You know? So having this good environment for the did education, you give him a good chance to become a good citizen in the civil country. So that's why I thought so child education, a homeless, chaos, Gilgamesh, history, education, child, homeless children, education, affected more. That's how you create the story. What we saw.
And I think one thing that really transcends with this movie is how well the club Yusuf and Hussein do as the lead actor into the boys in the movie. How did you hook up with them? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is their first film.
Yeah, I mean, all the actors there first, like the Marian, Gilgamesh, you know. I mean, the children, Chem, he lived in the office for days. I have about 65, 75 children came to my film center because I know them. And I go there sometimes, we need some to each other.
So that's
Or I use them in business corners. And from the 65 children, I was looking for Chim movie and the rest of the characters. So Chim was really hiding. When I looked at the first videos that I have of those children on them 9 o'clock in the morning, come to me and we do games and play.
fair.
Chim was not active. And that's what worried me too. Because I was looking around and seeing where is Chim here, you know? And then I noticed him. He was the problem. You know, because it was a three the three lands I've chosen. He was hiding next to his Pharaoh. He's pointing when he's Pharaoh. He's on point. It is high score
I mean, yeah,
to me.
yeah.
And then when I start to be a shortlist of how is playing champ, he's always from the 65 become he's part of the 25, part of the 10, part of the 5. Then for 2 weeks, then one day I watched the piano long pause. And I push him. He wants, I want to go. I want to sing. He don't sing, he don't talk, he don't do anything. He just like, wow, yes. Then. And then I pushed him to the limit. And he became very aggressive. Very aggressive. And I said, here's the part.
There he is.
He's the most cute child we met. Very nice, innocent child. Then one moment he became the most aggressive child who cannot control. During the production, it was difficult to control because Moody or another child do anything with him. And the film, after the shooting, he told fighting.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because he learned to protect his brother.
Right?
He learned to fight. He learned not to be receiving anything and not reacting. So I had two characters. Refused. I was control of the film. And the back but don't take anything from him.
Yeah.
You take anything from him, he's a different child.
That's so ironic because you see that in Mooney's character, right? As like the protective brother. So it's like you've taken that aspect of Chum Chum and they play so well together in your son. Like, you believe the bone, you believe the frustration, it's the family and the buddy compared to you.
Moody is the son of my sister.
Oh, okay.
So he came every 2 days to my sister, like convinced me.
We wanted the role.
He wants that, basically. And then I said to him, go on back on the stage. And he didn't know how to beg, how to do anything. Then the next day I took him. He did go back. and he didn't want to know what to do. Then I said to him, you will not get gold if you don't bring me $5 for this night. So I took him and I fell from this thing. And then he stopped.
And he knew you were filming him?
Of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because this is you and I will
Yeah.
do. See, so
Okay.
just I need to protect him.
Of course. Of course.
Because I need to look after him
Yeah.
from a distance. And then he received $100. And then on this day he received $7. I said, "What is good job, huh? For 2 hour work."
Wow.
And then I shaved him at the beginning before I choose him.
Oh,
I shaved him
to see how.
to see how he looked.
Yeah.
And I shaved him. He looked so nice and good.
I mean, that scene where we see him with the shaved head, it's just very powerful. Like just the visuals
Yeah.
of it. And then just from his journey from there on, no words are needed.
I shaved him because he's very good at color.
Okay.
And I make him doing football and then t-shirts. And then when I checked when he fish up, I felt it and the person in the row in that place. Then you know to his face. Oh,
Yeah.
I said, I say, what happened here is because he's very nice and saying he have curly hair like me.
Sure.
You know, he look like a bit like me because of my sister, blood and all that. And then I asked this. Yeah.
This, you do a fantastic job of balancing the reflection of the tragedies that have happened in Baghdad over the years and the wounds and the scars that the community have, while still leaving room for hope and inspiration. And, you know, not giving anything away, but by the end of the film, I had tears of anger, sadness, sort of like, wow, this is beautiful and inspiring. How do you do that? how do you balance that to get paid that off in such
It is
a
very
way?
difficult because by the end of the day, well, I'm talking about myself.
Yeah.
I'm talking about my child.
Mm.
I'm talking about my time. Understand? I'm talking about my time. I'm talking about my two sons. I'm talking about Adam and Edward. I'm talking about the people that I know. You talk about yourself. It's very difficult. It is very emotional. It's very sensitive because in the society where is war exists, not one war or two war, three, four wars. It's really injury also. It's damaging you. You see the blood constant. You see the effect of the war. The war is finished, but you still your family is affected by
Right.
or injured that we anger, the anger that I have. If I didn't make this film or make my films, I will be mad. Guy, or I will be so crazy.
Sure.
Because
You need the output.
of course, man, you can't handle it. It's too much for mankind to handle. That is this why the country is fucked up. Because 45 million people living in this cemetery has been affected by affected by the chaos has built up. We didn't have time for a break. I see now. Well, there's some time for a break. We've done not published, but still was having corruption. I mean, today in the country is the most corrupted country in the world. Yeah, it's very sad. It's very sad because country is supposed to be a religion. But can you do that?
Right.
A religion, you have to,
Mm.
you know? A country built in the society which look after each other, but the opposite happened, you know? And that will bring us to the levels of what shall we do? So the uprising 2008 shows the reaction of saying enough is enough, you know? So for me, having all these elements and try to build them and to make them as one way, it wasn't easy. I have a very good team with me. Who I Shahad, Kareem, Hassan, because each time I go to the extreme side, they try to bring me down. Say, no, stay forward. And, and having this team was really our generation of offering us to give us because this song is direction.
Yeah.
You know, if you take it, Gilgamesh and the story of Gilgamesh, it become more realistic.
Oh, yeah.
Telling the story of
Yes,
there's
they have.
something that been affected and try to, you know. If I take the realistic, even this imaginations of champion about Gilgamesh, more fantasy, more imagination, you know. So I try to balance it on all this, you know, from the character point of view, because me, such a living in the I used to dream a lot.
One third
We used to solve my imagination to go away,
escapism.
escape.
Yeah.
What is to breathe
Right.
differently,
Yeah.
you know, and that's very important because I believe, you know, like in Gaza today, in Palestine today, for this war happen, there is this genocide. There is a child, he used to be like me, used to dream.
Mhm.
He's going to survive.
Yeah.
He's going to be a new filmmaker, a new doctor, a new doctor. Because he had this world. Because you need this world.
Yeah.
We need to hear as a man in the world to go away.
Absolutely.
You know, and to fly. To fly. It's like the champion always fly.
I think it was perfectly balanced because you made a great point where, like, if you were to remove the imaginary aspect of it or the even mythical aspect of it, it becomes very straightforward, you know, as far as historical reflections. But I think there's just the right amount of the Gilgamesh story when we introduce to this the parallels of the cartoon he's watching to the life he's living. And, you know, you already kind of touched on it about escapism and why it's important. Was there also, you know, TV shows or Gilgamesh maybe specifically that inspired you when you were a kid? Was there like what was it for you when you were young? Was it that?
No, I mean the story of Gilgamesh is obvious. We have it
Right.
in our school books. You have it everywhere. You hear about it. It's part of the culture. It's part of the Sumerian, Babylonian. But if we say we are um, the Muslim, Arab, Iraqi, Sumerian, Babylonian live in this country.
Right.
We are the generation, the our parents, grandfathers come from the Babylonian Sumerians. Okay? So you have always in your plan, in your national ethnic song, you talk about this Iraqi as this country. So it's part of us, part of, of who we are, part of our identity. We are very good as Iraqi. We have a very strong identity. You know, we are. This is very important. This is good, you know, and 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 from there, of course, I made the previous film that I had, Son of Pablo. It talk about the journey of this little boy that he come from northern Iraq to go to look for his father, that called history the war. And it's me through the journey with the hope that his grandmother promised him to show him the hanging garden of Babylon. Okay? So always you are having something like your history is a life and they use it because to be honest with you, between me and you, why? Because I have nothing to bring to the world of this stage. Because I have no, I didn't. I'm not bringing anything to the to the humanity today. So I'm saying, no, you know what? Let me make myself a bit strong. I say, yeah, because we built. We are the first nation making the language or written language. We are the first nation to tell the story about Gilgamesh. We are the first nation make the circle. We, you know, just because in today we are not the first nation of nothing, and we are not bringing anything to the war of today. So that's why maybe on psychology try to make myself a bit strong in front of you by saying to you, oh yeah, I'm from Babylonian, but that was 7,000 years ago.
Sure.
But today, what do we have? We have a country broken by war
Sure.
and being affected um, by 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 unstable situation that's affecting the result of Middle East today.
But like you said, it's in your blood.
Yeah.
You know, and you are bringing hope and inspiration with this film and your other films. So thank you for that because I watched this film with someone who was about to be deployed to Iraq from the U.S.
Mhm.
and ended up going AWOL,
Mhm.
going against orders and just that.
Mhm.
And in watching this, was very triggered from a different perspective. You know what I mean? And that led me to believe that a movie like yours and this one is one that is going to have a different impact on different people. But I think everyone needs to see it, regardless of culture, background, or whatever. So congratulations on your film. I hope everything goes well while you're here in Toronto at
Thank you
TIFF.
very much.
One last question I'd like to ask everybody. What is a film that you think is underseen that you'd like to recommend to people?
Unseen.
Like not a lot of people have seen it. Something that's underseen. Like more people should go and see it.
My films.
If you'd like, sure. If you'd like, that's fine.
Yeah, no, this was my film, Son of Babylon.
Okay.
Yeah, Son of Babylon is very nice. Very proud.
Awesome.
Telling a beautiful, delicate film. I used to say, if I am died only after this film, I'm died because of this film. Because if you watch it, you will like it.
As soon as I get back from Toronto, I'm
Yeah.
top of my list.
Where do you live?
I'm living in Vancouver, Washington. So that's just by Portland, Oregon.
Right.
So the Pacific Northwest on the West Coast. I grew up in Los Angeles.
Right.
So you know.
Where are you from originally?
Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So I'm a second generation immigrant. Yeah, my
nice.
mom was born in Chihuahua, Mexico.
Oh, nice.
So I can't wait till your film becomes widely available. I'd love to show my parents. I think again, everyone can take something from it, and thank you for it.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
You take care.
Let me just do this.
Yep. It's the second time I did it.